Hello and welcome to your extended reading for the new beginnings. This is a new beginning for me and it's also going to be a new beginning for you. So I'll go ahead and get started. If you're finding this because you've watched the overall video, then some of the graphics here will be familiar to you. And let me fix this here. And behind me, I have a couple paintings that I did a long time ago, symbolizing left brain, right brain. And you know, this kind of like flip that happens in the body, how the right brain controls the left side and the right side and the left brain are connected, you know. So we have these interesting polarities that are a theme in my work and then a theme in my readings. So if this is resonating with you, we're going to dive in a little bit deeper with those in particular. Okay. So yeah, this is not scripted. I'm just going to go through and read the cards. But before we get too far into it, I do spend time at the beginning pulling cards for each sign, and I've kind of like printed them out here. And there's a map, which I'll put up here next to it. So I wanted to say that overall, because we all have every sign, these themes are important for the new beginning. So we have the Lover's card times 3 for the major arcana. And it was the only card that repeated 3 times, and it happens to be the major arcana. Sometimes the Lovers is considered choice, and because this reading is about choosing, you know, how you want to look at things and how our words and our thoughts matter, I think especially in this case for you as you are contemplating a new beginning, just think about how much that is emphasized for everyone throughout this reading as an influence in making new beginnings. We're choosing to make a new beginning. It happens not because we're expecting it to, because we take action in order for that to happen. We also have the Queen of Swords repeated twice, which is the element of air, and the Four of Wands repeated twice, the element of fire. And air and earth are heavily dominant. So this is just a little bit of overall energy before we get into your specific reading to orient us on the map. So there's a north, south, east, and west, and then also the elements, and then the 12 different zodiac signs, and your reading is going to be focusing on your particular zodiac sign. So let's get to it, okay? Hello Gemini, welcome to your extended reading. I have here your notes, and you've come to this reading because something resonated with you in the general reading with the Queen of Swords, the Four of Wands, and also the Lovers. And the affirmations: my light is inspiration from a distance and guides all travelers, and you are unable to let your light shine or enjoy the elevated position. The star was your card, your clarification card. So we're going to go into this a little bit further. I have selected brand new decks that have never been used before. Yours is the Black Cat's Tarot, and it has kind of like a night sky in the background. Yeah, so let's look into this a little bit further. So we'll choose one card for your inspiration, maybe a little bit what kind of things are inspiring you, and or how are you inspiring others, because it's your light that is really inspiring. And if you are not connecting with your light within, maybe this can be some advice into connecting with your inner guidance, that light of inspiration within you. And then On the opposite side or on the opposite end, you're unable to let the light shine or enjoy the elevated position. So some guidance in that area regarding perhaps any blockages that you might have in order to enjoy your elevated position, to be the star that you are. If there are any blocks, and then we'll pull one in the center as sort of like a wild card for any guidance or advice for you on this particular reading. So we're pulling cards for Gemini. All right. 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll take a look what's at the bottom of the deck. The 4 of coins is at the bottom of the deck. So you do have that repetition of 4. 4 of wands, 4 of coins, these are very foundational. The 4 of wands is sort of maybe holding on to something a little bit too tightly. Sometimes that can be a positive thing, you know, the way that we hold on to the people that we love. And sometimes it can be restrictive, because if you're holding things, you don't have the capacity to pick up something new. So we'll see with the rest of your cards here what unfolds. So this card is talking about your inner light and your inspiration. And we got here the Hierophant. So this is a card of, in this deck it's a cat offering what looks to be like a wedge of cheese to a couple of mice. Yes, there's the card, the Hierophant. This is a spiritual card, a card of mastery, spiritual mastery of a lot of difficult situations. So, in this case, I guess the travelers are the mice, and perhaps your particular type of guidance can be in providing for those who are on their journey and in need of sustenance or rest or inspiration. Because the Hierophant is a religious kind of image or spiritual image, the kind of nurturing that people might need on their journey isn't necessarily physical like food, but you have that ability. There's also that saying that your scars are someone else's hope, because it shows that you can heal from difficult journeys. So your light, your sense of inspiration is based on your experience of surviving difficult things and then being able to support other people on their journey in this card. Okay, so the other card, which is if there's any potential blocks in terms of you enjoying this position, maybe you're not happy in this role, or maybe you're not connecting to the inspiration that is potentially available for you in this area based on your reading. So what we have here is the 7 of coins. The 7 of coins in this deck is a cat sitting kind of in a meditative state around a tiny plant which is growing, and he's got it sort of like walled off and protected. So 7s are lessons in terms of numerology, just kind of like a general thing. And hold on, my phone's giving me some notifications there. So what could be your potential block in this case? Well, if you are nurturing something, you're trying to make something grow, you could get a little bit protective or maybe even defensive about what it is that you're trying to nurture and grow. And so there are positive and negative connotations to that. So perhaps this central card will give us a little bit more of an insight into why you might not be able to enjoy your elevated position. One way to think of this is that maybe you're taking too much ownership over the responsibility of nurturing people and you don't want to feel like you're responsible for them. Or you're not allowed to take the amount of responsibility that's required for you to feel like you're doing a good job in terms of being able to nurture something to a state where it can provide for itself, you know? So some kind of conflict perhaps around that. What we have in the middle is the Four of Swords. And this is like a wounded cat sitting on a bench, and the swords are all tied up and put on the ground. This is also a fall position or a fall card with the coloring compared to these other two, which are sort of green and spring-like. The Four of Coins is also a spring-like image. So you now have the Four of Swords and the Four of Coins, and then in the general reading for the sign, you also got the Four of Wands. So you have 3 fours, which is pretty significant in terms of being foundationally building. Triangles are really strong too, and so are the squares. So the Four of Swords speaks to rest and recuperation, especially in your mental body and the thoughts and the stories that you tell yourself. So in light of all of this, if I was to try and summarize it for you as a reading, of course, you know, take what resonates with you, but I would say that you are due for a little bit of rest and recuperation to maybe nurture yourself, that you might be feeling a bit defensive in terms of protecting your own space, to nurture who you are, to get in touch with your inspiration, and in order for you to really be the light that you are in order to help others. So the message I'm seeing here is that you might be feeling like you can't be your best because you do need some time to nurture yourself, and then when you do that and you're feeling more like yourself, you'll be able to go out and help others and be the star that you are. So I hope that resonated. Let me know what you think in the comments below, or if this didn't resonate with you, you can always try a different sign and go back to the main sort of like oracle and pick a different one. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I wish you the best. Bye.